Right, when it comes to watches, there are certain timepieces that stand out above the rest. These are the most iconic watches of all time, and while it was unbelievably painful for us, we cut it down to only the top 5. Let's jump right into it. Hey everyone, my name is Fey, and here at Uber Wrists we like to say we're seeking quality time. From the Rolex Daytona to the Omega Speedmaster, these watches are famous for their style and functionality. Whether you're a watch aficionado or simply looking for a classic timepiece, these are the watches that you need to know about. Now, let's start with the first one, an absolute classic of course. We start with the Patek Philippe Nautilus. An unobtainable icon is the big question here, because in today's society people are constantly trying to one-up each other, and whether it's with the latest technology, fashion trends or materialistic possessions, everyone wants to have the best of the best. Now when it comes to watches, there is one brand particularly that seems to always be on top: Patek Philippe. The Swiss watchmaker has been around since 1839 and has created some of the most iconic watches of all time. The Patek Philippe Nautilus is exactly one such watch. Released in 1967, the Nautilus was designed by the legendary watch designer Gerald Genta. It was inspired by the shape of a porthole on a ship and was meant to be an elegant yet sporty watch. The Nautilus quickly became a hit with both celebrities and everyday people alike. Let's continue with number 2, the Rolex Daytona, the watch that started the frenzy. There are few watches as iconic as the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona. First introduced in 1963, the Daytona has been synonymous with luxury and prestige for over 50 years. The watch is instantly recognizable thanks to its unique design and distinctive features, including a 3-sub-dial layout and a tachymetric scale bezel. The Daytona is also one of the most sought-after watches in the world, with used models often selling for tens of thousands of dollars. Whether you're a watch aficionado or simply looking for a classic timepiece, the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona is an iconic watch that is sure to impress. Next up, we have the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Now, there are few watches as iconic as the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. First released in 1972, the Royal Oak was one of the first luxury watches to be made with a stainless steel case and bracelet. The design was ahead of its time and quickly became a classic. Today, the Royal Oak is still one of the most popular watches among collectors and enthusiasts. While there are many iconic watches out there, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak is truly in a class of its own. It remains one of the most popular watches nearly 50 years after its release, and it is sure to continue to be an icon for generations to come. By the way, if you want to learn more about watches or luxury watches in particular, make sure that you subscribe to the Uber Wrists newsletter, link in the description below. On the 4th place, we have the Omega Speedmaster Moon Watch. While it's not as coveted as the other watches on this list, the Omega Speedmaster is still one of the most iconic and influential watches of all time. First released in 1957, the Speedmaster was designed as a racing chronograph and quickly gained popularity with the motorsport fans. In 1962, NASA selected the Omega Speedmaster as the official watch of the US space program, and it has been worn on all 6 lunar missions. The Omega Speedmaster Moon Watch is now an international symbol of adventure and exploration. Then last but not least, we have on the 5th place the Rolex Submariner. While many watches are simply timekeepers, the Rolex Submariner is an iconic piece that has been worn by some of the most important people in history. This watch is more than just a fashion statement. It is a symbol of power, prestige, and success. The Rolex Submariner was first introduced in 1953 and it quickly became the standard bearer for luxury watches. This watch is known for its durability, style, and accuracy. It has been worn by everyone from James Bond to JFK, and its popularity only continues to grow. The Rolex Submariner is more than just a watch though. It is a symbol of achievement and excellence. If you're looking for a watch that will make a statement, then the Rolex Submariner is the perfect choice. So let's summarize the top 5 most iconic watches of all time. On the first place, we have the Patek Philippe Nautilus, In the second place, we have the Rolex Daytona. Third place takes Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Fourth is the Omega Speedmaster or the Moon watch. And on the fifth place, we have the Rolex Submariner. Which watch is your grail? Which watch would you love to buy one day? Leave a comment down below. And if you're interested in other type of watch content, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and make sure that you subscribe to the newsletter, link in the description below.